In this video, we're going to start drawing the contour lines as well as the building outlines from these two images. Now, the first thing you want to do is you want to create new layers. So we'll go into your layer manager and we'll create a new layer for the contours. Now, the previous video showed the raster image underlays, and I've renamed those layers to raster contours complete and raster photo complete. Now, the contour lines as well, I'll be showing you an example to explain the workflow, and then I'll turn on the layer with all of the contours complete, just so that you don't have to watch the process of me making every single one. So we're going to do contours, and while I'm here, I'm just going to make the other layers that we're going to be creating. The second one is going to be called buildings. So we can name that one buildings. And then the last one is going to be the ocean edge. We already have a layer here, so we're just going to stick to, we're just going to call that ocean edge 2, since we already have that same name layer here. We'll make the current layer contours, and then we can start drawing our contours. Now I'm going to start here, and I'm going to use a polyline because it is slightly easier for 3D Max later to generate a contour mesh using simple vector lines instead of using splines, which will generate too many vertices. So you will just go through your entire contour map, and you can individually draw each contour. You can also, to make things quicker, if you have too many contour lines, if you can skip them to make it every 50 meters, every 100 meters. You can really change that as according to your preference. What I'm showing you here is just to draw each one. I will be tracing all of them, and the last thing we need on top of these lines is just to have a text reference that will come into AutoCAD as well. So I'm going to use a text tool here just to type 220. 220. So then we'll press OK, and we'll then make a copy of that, paste it here, and this one will be 200. And you can carry on that same process until you have all of the contours done, all of the contours ready. So I'm going to turn off these contours I've just created and turn on the layer that has all of them complete. So that will be the contours complete layer, and that will then show you the rest of the site. Now, the line here that you're looking at, this one here that I've selected, that is the ocean edge. To get that line, what we're going to do is we're going to turn off the raster image for the contours off, and we're going to turn on the photo layer. I'm also going to turn off the contours just so that we can recreate the same line, and then I will turn it back on. So now we're looking at the ocean edge line here, and we're going to create a vector line that traces that entire edge, very similar to how we did when we did the reflection map in Photoshop, except now we're doing the same thing in AutoCAD. And I find it much easier to do this in AutoCAD. You can do it in 3D Max, but for some reason when you bring in the images in AutoCAD, you have a very good resolution that you can zoom into, whereas in 3D Max, when you look at the texture, it does become a little bit more blurry. So doing this process is a bit more tricky. So again, I'm going to stop it right there, and you will see the line that we've just created is on the invisible contour line. So you'll see there we carry on, we do the entire ocean edge, and then that becomes its own single line vector. I'm going to once again turn that off, and then turn on the complete version. Contours complete, and then what you want to do as well, it happens quite often in AutoCAD, is that you get the front and back layering in the way that you don't want. So what you want is to press DR for draw order, select your image, and then just right click and send it to the back, B for back, and then press enter. That way your raster image reference will move to the back, and you'll be able to see all of your contours. Now you'll see that I didn't do the numbers absolutely everywhere. I have left some of them out. For example, here I didn't do this one. It might be done somewhere else down the line, but you just need to add the information that you think you will need when you bring it into 3ds Max. If you feel that you need more contours, you can obviously draw more, but for our means, this is good enough. We're then going to turn this layer off, and we're going to focus on the next thing, which is the building outlines. To do the building outlines, you simply have to go to your building layer. We'll choose a different color, and then you will start drawing the outlines of the buildings to the resolution that you think you need for your project. Now, if it is an architectural project and you're in the concept phase, you really don't have to do too much detail. Well, we're going to be using Greeble, the plugin, the free plugin for 3D Max, to create more of the detail around the roof level. So what we want for Greeble is just to create simple four-sided polygons that we will then use to extrude from in Greeble. So to create that base geometry, all I need to do is I just need to create polylines, and then tracing the outlines of the blocks, I will just draw four-sided polygons. Four-sided seems to work best with Greeble, otherwise the forms that you get out become 3- or 5-sided, and well, most things in the city are four-sided, so let's just stick to that. And you don't really have to be too accurate. I mean, it's absolutely up to you and your preference. What you can do as well is you can model more of the high-res detail around your site, and then when it comes to your context, you can just work with the very basic big blocks. That tends to be good enough. So you'll continue with this process of blocking out your buildings, and once you are complete, it will look something like this. As soon as I find the layer, I'll turn it on. So this is the layer that we will bring into 3D Max in the next video, and we will start to extrude out of this layer. Now, what we've done in this video is we've just gone over the contour creation as well as the building creation, and we have numbered the heights of the contours, and we're pretty much ready to export from here. Now, just before I finish the video, I want to just show you two more small tricks. The first one is with your contours. Now, you will notice as well that if you try to export from AutoCAD into 3D Max, you'll notice that the text layers don't really work. So what you want to do is you want to explode all of your text. Now I notice that this is already exploded because it's finished, but I'm going to turn on the contour layer that we were creating earlier, and that will help you to understand the process. You'll select the text, and then you will go here into your express text and then explode text. Now you'll notice that it'll fly all the way into this little corner here. So what I like to do is I create two reference rectangles of where the text came from, select the text, explode it, and then you'll just need to move it and rescale it. There might be a way of doing this without this process. Personally, I haven't figured out how, so this is what I do. I'm not really sure why it always rescales like this, but very often it's not really that much of a problem. I just rescale it like that and I get it back to where it's supposed to be. So once I delete this, I then have my text values in a simple vector outline that I can import into 3ds Max. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to go out and save that, and you'll then go and save it as a drawing, making sure that the version number is suitable and compatible for your version of 3D Max. And that is about it for this video. Thanks for watching it, and in the next one we will go straight into 3D Max.